Hello, welcome back to another episode of Codicize. Today we are going to be looking at making the most of your one-on-ones. So those weekly or fortnightly catch-ups you have with your manager and how you can get the most out of them. So don't let them be this boring thing that you're dreading each week. Really maximize the time you got with your manager. So let's get into it. We have a few different topics today. So we're going to make it fun. We're going to use an agenda. You're getting some alone time with your manager. So let's look at how you can maximize that. We've got a topic on escalations, managing expectations, preventing small issues becoming big issues, and then lastly is showing your progress. All of these can be used combined. In some meetings you'll use all of them, in some you might only use part of them. Really what we want to do is have some tools in our belt that we can rely on to make sure that our meetings are as efficient and as useful as we can make them. My first recommendation for you is make it fun. So the person on the other side of this meeting, your manager, is human. No one likes boring meetings, so try to make it a bit of fun, show some of your personality, talk about your hobbies and other interests outside of work. It's also a really good opportunity for you to learn about that from your manager. You might have some common interests, could be something like 3D printing or a sport that you both play, and that can really help develop that relationship and make sure that when you're having these conversations, you've kind of got a little bit of a personal relationship to fall back onto as well. The time you're spending in your one-on-one doesn't have to be 100% career or work focused. Again, your manager is a human. They want to hear about you. They want to hear about what you're doing. And humans like talking to other humans. So don't go in with your big script of all the tickets you finished for this week. Use that time to get to know each other. One other tip you can use for your one-on-ones is to try a different location or a walking meeting. If you're still working in the office, why not go out and grab a coffee together, maybe go for a walk around whatever neighborhood your office is in if that's available to you. If you're on Zoom, it's a little bit tougher to do that, but you can always try to spice it up, make it a little bit different. Even changing the time of day that the meeting is in can put you in a different mindset and make it a bit of a different meeting. The next piece of advice I have for you is to use an agenda. So set the agenda between meetings. Don't wait until you get into the meeting and try to think of all the things that have happened over the last week or fortnight. Between your one-on-ones, spend that time writing down what's happened, the kind of work you're doing, any problems you've had, the kind of other projects that are coming up, and then use that to set the agenda. So once you get into the meeting, you've got a nice clear list that you can go through. Your manager likely has their own agenda that they want to get through. And by making sure that your topics are listed as well, you can make sure that you're able to get the points across that you want to. The best part of using an agenda is you remember the important stuff. It's very easy when you get into that meeting to forget everything that's happened. You might get caught up on one topic, one discussion point, and then you'll go home and go, oh man, I wish I'd mentioned this other thing that's happening. The other thing that's great is when you've got an agenda, you can plan your answers and give your manager time to plan responses. So by putting an agenda out, sharing that around before the meeting, people can take it away, think about it, and then use the meeting to actually get to the solution rather than looking just at doing a lot of brain time, a lot of thinking on their thoughts on a matter. By using the agenda, you're able to get that planning in early, maybe even jam on a document together asynchronously, so you've got something to talk about when you're actually face-to-face. The last part of using an agenda is that you're able to prepare documents and deliverables. Similar to the previous point, but your manager might ask, hey, can you prepare a plan on how we're going to run this project? You can then prepare that, have those deliverables ready, share it out to them, and then you can actually have that useful discussion when you're face-to-face and get all of that cruft out of the way early on. My next tip is that you're going to be getting alone time with your manager. This is really valuable, and you can use this to discuss any issues that you might be facing, seek guidance with any problems you've got, and share your challenges. Ask for feedback, suggestions. Your manager has likely had a really good career and they're able to share their knowledge with you, which is something you can take into your own career, something you can develop your own skills. The best way to learn is do it yourself. The second best way is have someone else's experience be delivered to you. So use that time. If you've got a challenge, maybe it could be a personal challenge, an issue with a project, could even be a technical challenge if you're in software or design, something like that. You can ask for that feedback, ask for those suggestions, and get that really good input from your manager. Make sure you're leveraging their knowledge. People love to share their knowledge, so it can be a great way to get your own help. But that is if you've got any problems with like company process, or you're not sure how something works, or maybe something was mentioned at like an all hands that you're not sure about, use this time to ask those questions and get the answers. It's really hard when you're sitting at home, maybe you work remotely, and you're sitting there ruminating on a problem. Use that time, use that one-on-one time to ask those questions, get the responses that you need to make sure that you're feeling calm, or maybe you can help make your own decisions a bit better. One of the main reasons we do one-on-ones is to manage escalations. So sometimes you might have had this experience, you go present a problem to your manager, they take it on board and immediately escalate it to another department or their boss or whoever it is. When you're doing your one-on-one, you can manage these escalations process. You're okay to actually go to your manager and say, hey, this is happening, I'm solving it, I'm working on it, but I want you to know in case something comes to you or something happens. And they'll probably appreciate that you're able to work independently, you're able to take ownership of your own work and be accountable for those results. And then if an escalation does come, whether from yourself or someone else you're working on a project with, they're not surprised. They're able to, they've got the context, they know what's going on, and they're able to help you out when they need to. When you're having these one-on-ones, you can use this to make sure that small issues don't become big issues. If you see a problem on the horizon, it might be worth just mentioning it, saying, hey, I've seen this coming, let's have a chat about it, just get some ideas. And then if it does blow up, it does become a really big issue, they know that it's coming, they've seen your process to deal with it, they know who you've spoken to. This can all be really important and can really make sure that your voice is heard in those escalation discussions, and that you're not left out as someone being responsible for it that has been totally blindsided and didn't have any clue it was coming. It's really important that you give your manager the tools that they need to help. If they haven't heard of a problem before, how can you expect them to be able to resolve it for you? So make sure you're keeping them up to date, sharing your progress and what's going on. The last point I want to talk about is showing your process. So take them on the journey with your ideas and plans. Show them that you're thinking through problems, how they impact the business and your team. And when you need something approved, it'll be easier because they've seen you get to your solution. If you just show up with an answer one day, it might be hard and they might question, how did you get to that solution? Use that one-on-one time with your manager to share what you've done, build up on how the project's going, how the process is working, and then they can see that idea develop, they can give input if they need to, and then when you're actually finally ready for delivering, they'll be able to give their seal of approval, and you'll be all good to go ahead with it. Pretty quick video today, just on how to make the most out of your one-on-ones. I'm going to do a manager version of this on how to get the most out of your direct reports one-on-ones. I think it's really valuable to have a think about this. What is the purpose of these meetings? It's really easy to go into them. No one's got an idea of what's going on. You kind of have an awkward chat for 10 minutes and then hang up. But these meetings can be a really good way to sync on ideas, build that rapport with each other, and share your progress, share your process. When your project does go wrong, hopefully you're both across it. You're not going to have any issues there. So I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, like, comment, subscribe, all of those good things. You can find me at linktree/Nick Hayden. That's where you'll find all my links, website, YouTube, Instagram, everything else. This will also be chopped up into little short form content. So if you see that on your feed, make sure you give it a like. And yeah, we'll get into it. I'm back onto my content a little bit more now. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.